Imagine being brutally stolen by an obsessed collector in a creepy chicken suit while your owner is away at camp. Today we are diving into the ultimate high-stakes rescue mission where a beloved cowboy toy gets ripped away from his home. You will not believe the wild twists and turns that kick off this classic animated thriller. We open on Buzz Lightyear landing on a mysterious alien world to confront his ultimate arch-nemesis, evil Emperor Zurg. Buzz dodges deadly lasers and leaps across treacherous platforms with absolute main character energy. But just as Buzz prepares to finish the job, Zurg utterly vaporizes him into oblivion. Plot twist: it was all just a video game being played by Rex, who is low-key losing his mind over his tiny arms. Rex panics because his fingers are too short to hit the jump and fire buttons at the exact same time. Meanwhile, Woody is frantically tearing the room apart trying to find his missing iconic cowboy hat. Woody is stressing out big time because Andy is leaving for cowboy camp in literally 5 minutes. Buzz tries to reassure Woody that everything will be fine once they are chilling around the campfire. Sarge and the Green Army men conduct a full military sweep of the entire house to locate the hat. Mr. Potato Head finds his wife's lost earring instead, getting all affectionate in the middle of the chaos. Woody feels completely cooked and fears he will miss the best weekend of the entire year. Bo Peep tells Woody to look under his boot, reminding him that Andy loves him no matter what. Their sweet moment gets instantly ruined when a loud commercial blasts onto the room's television set. Al from AL's Toy Barn screams about cheap bargains, irritating every single toy in the room. Slinky rushes in with Woody's missing hat, but immediately warns him that a real threat is incoming. The room goes into total lockdown mode as Buster, the hyperactive pet dog, bursts through the door. Buster searches the room violently until he tracks down Woody hiding under the bed. It turns out Buster is actually Woody's loyal pet, setting a brand new record for finding him. Right on cue, Andy runs into the room, totally hyped and ready to head off to camp. Andy instantly launches into an epic imaginary battle featuring Woody, Buzz, and evil Dr. Porkchop. Evil Dr. Porkchop threatens Bo Peep, forcing Sheriff Woody and Buzz Lightyear to team up. Together, the unstoppable duo defeats the villain and saves the day in cinematic fashion. Tragically, during the chaotic play session, Woody's arm seam snaps completely open. Andy's mom refuses to fix Woody on the way, coldly declaring that toys do not last forever. Devastated, Andy leaves Woody sitting alone on the top shelf, completely abandoned. Woody falls into a terrifying nightmare where Andy throws him away into a dark void of trash. Woody snaps awake in a panic on the dusty top shelf, coughing violently. He discovers Wheezy, a sweet penguin toy who was abandoned months ago due to a broken squeaker. Wheezy explains that Andy's mom lied about fixing him and just stashed him away to gather dust. The poor penguin has accepted his grim fate, believing all broken toys are bound for destruction. Suddenly, Andy's mom shouts the most terrifying phrase any toy can ever hear in their life. Sarge orders an emergency civilian roll call as total panic erupts throughout the bedroom. Andy's mom enters the room, grabs a box of old items, and takes Wheezy right off the shelf. Woody realizes his friend is about to be sold forever and instantly cooks up a risky rescue plan. Woody whistles for Buster, jumps onto his back, and sneaks down the stairs toward the front yard. The toys watch from the window in utter disbelief as Woody puts everything on the line. Woody reaches the yard sale, sneaks into the bargain box, and drops Wheezy into Buster's collar. The rescue is a total success, and Wheezy is safely delivered back toward the house. But as Buster trots back, Woody loses his grip and tumbles right onto the dusty driveway. A little girl spots Woody on the ground and begs her mom to buy the cool cowboy doll. The mom dismisses Woody as broken junk, but a shady man nearby overhears everything. The shady man inspects Woody and instantly realizes he is looking at an extremely rare vintage collectible. He even finds Woody's lost hat lying right nearby in a box, completing the priceless set. The man offers Andy's mom cash on the spot, but she firmly refuses to sell Andy's family toy. When the mom looks away, the greedy man low-key shoves Woody into a locked briefcase and steals him. Buzz Lightyear springs into action, sprinting after the thief's car as it speeds down the street. Buzz pulls off insane acrobatics, grabbing onto the bumper, but gets knocked off as the car flees. Back in the bedroom, Buzz sets up a high-stakes crime scene investigation to track down the kidnapper. Etch-a-Sketch draws a composite sketch of the heavy kidnapper while the toys debate the details. Buzz reviews the suspect's getaway vehicle and tries to decode the license plate using Mr. Spell. Mr. Potato Head doubts they can track one car out of millions in the Tri-County area. Suddenly, Mr. Spell decodes the scrambled letters to spell out a massive clue. Buzz instantly connects the dots to the annoying chicken suit guy from the television commercial. The toys realize Woody was stolen by Al McQuiggan, the corrupt owner of AL's toy barn. Meanwhile, Al arrives at his high-rise apartment, gloating over his priceless stolen prize. Al shoves Woody inside a room filled to the brim with vintage merchandise before rushing off. Woody bursts out of the box and desperately tries to escape the unfamiliar room. Out of nowhere, an energetic yodeling cowgirl tackle hugs Woody in pure excitement. She celebrates like she just won the lottery while Woody stands there completely confused. The cowgirl introduces a friendly horse named Bullseye, who starts licking Woody's face uncontrollably. Next, they bring out an old miner toy named Stinky Pete, who is mint in box and never opened. The toys call Woody their long-lost leader, giving him major main character energy. Woody has no idea who these strange toys are or why they know his exact name. Stinky Pete turns on an old television set to reveal the shocking truth about Woody's past. Black and white footage plays, showing a 1950s puppet show called Woody's Roundup. Woody watches in sheer awe as he sees himself starring as the ultimate cowboy hero. He discovers that Jesse, Bullseye, and Stinky Pete were all his famous co-stars back in the day. Woody realizes he isn't just a random toy, but a legendary TV icon from decades ago. Meanwhile, back at Andy's house, Buzz and the rest of the gang are channel surfing furiously. They are hunting for the exact location of AL's toy barn to launch an epic rescue mission. Woody is trapped in a glamorous world of fame, completely oblivious to his friend's desperate search. The stakes have never been higher as Woody's entire world changes forever. The gang is desperately mashing the TV remote, trying to figure out where Woody got snatched. Buzz delivers a massive main character speech, reminding everyone that Woody never backed down when he was in danger. Mrs. Potato Head literally packs Buzz with her husband's extra pair of shoes and angry eyes just in case things get sketchy. With zero time to waste, the rescue team leaps out the window, launching a high-stakes mission across town. Buzz sets their sights on the Big Chicken City landmark, lock-in mode fully activated. Meanwhile, over at AL's creepy penthouse, Woody is watching an ancient black and white puppet show called Woody's Roundup. The wild puppet episode shows Stinky Pete the prospector lighting dynamite by mistake inside an abandoned mine. Woody on screen charges in on his trusty horse to pull off an epic last-second save. Right before the intense episode reaches its payoff, the show suddenly cuts off on a ruthless cliffhanger. Woody is totally hooked and begs to see the next tape, but Stinky Pete breaks the tragic news. Turns out the show got instantly pulled from the air and left incomplete forever. The prospector explains that Space Mania completely cooked the cowboy era the second Sputnik launched. Jesse points out that Woody was actually a massive celebrity icon back in the day with endless merch. Woody starts messing around with all his crazy retro memorabilia, totally geeked out by his own legacy. They toss on a vintage record player and start yodeling and dancing around like total icons. Jesse gets hyped because Woody's arrival finally makes their legendary Roundup gang complete. That is when the prospector casually drops a massive bombshell about their ultimate destiny. Al is actually planning to ship the entire complete set across the globe to a museum in Japan. Woody instantly hits the brakes, declaring he has a real kid named Andy waiting for him. The second Andy is mentioned, Jessie literally goes into a full-blown panic attack. Jessie loses her mind screaming about being trapped in pitch-black storage boxes for years. Pete lays down the cold reality: without Woody, the museum deal is dead and they all go back into dark storage. Woody tries to explain that his whole presence here was a massive accident from a yard sale rescue mission. Before they can process the chaos, heavy footsteps echo outside and everyone freezes. Al bursts through the front door, gloating like a villain over the absolute fortune he is about to make. When Al pulls Woody out, he realizes Woody's right arm ripped completely off and panics. Al hysterically dials a master toy restorer, begging him to come over immediately to fix the damage. Once Al locks up and leaves, Woody panics over his severed limb, thinking his life is totally ruined. The prospector tries to calm him down, promising the restorer will fix the seam back to perfection. Jessie throws major shade, mocking the idea of Andy ever wanting a defective, broken toy. Meanwhile, Buzz and the rescue crew are trekking through the city, totally exhausted after clearing barely 2 blocks. Mr. Potato Head is practically falling apart from the endless walking, complaining every single step. Buzz gives them another hyped-up motivational speech so nobody quits on Woody. Back at the penthouse, Al passes out on the couch right in front of the blaring television. Woody notices his missing arm sitting on top of the TV cabinet and decides to sneak across the room. Bullseye tries to tag along, but Woody whispers at him to stay put so they do not wake the giant. Woody tiptoes past Al's massive sleeping body, tiptoeing right toward the precious arm. Out of nowhere, the television blasts at top volume, blasting the catchy Roundup theme song. Al snaps awake in a daze, snatches the remote, and shoves Woody back into his glass display case. Once Al goes to bed, Woody turns around and angrily accuses Jessie of turning on the TV to sabotage his escape. Jessie takes extreme offense to the accusation and steps right into Woody's face. Woody pushes her buttons even further, completely igniting her short-fused cowboy temper. The two start throwing hands in a hilarious full-on brawl across the living room carpet. Stinky Pete steps between them to break up the chaos, urging Woody to just wait for the restorer. Woody fumes that as soon as his arm gets sewn back on, he is sprinting straight back to Andy. Bullseye whimpers at the thought of Woody leaving them behind to rot in storage. Jessie rolls her eyes hard, utterly sick of hearing about how great this mystery kid is. The next morning, Ham is struggling under the weight of his own coin stash as the squad marches on. Rex is dramatically stressing out, claiming his stamina is hitting absolute zero. Ham drops a terrible dad joke just as they finally spot Al's toy barn right across the massive highway. Looking at 4 lanes of high-speed heavy traffic, the toys know a direct sprint means instant roadkill. Buzz spots traffic cones on the curb and hatches a wild, galaxy-brain stealth strategy. Under cover of orange cones, the toys waddle across the street, dropping flat every time a car speeds past. Their bizarre cone parade causes total vehicular chaos, causing semi-trucks to swerve and crash into each other. Despite causing absolute carnage on the road, the rescue gang successfully reaches the front entrance. Meanwhile at the penthouse, the legendary elderly toy restorer finally arrives to fix Woody. The old man takes out his high-end toolkit, letting Al know that perfection takes serious time. Over at the store, Slinky freaks out because the giant front doors are completely locked shut. Mr. Potato Head points out that the automatic doors are just waiting for movement. They spot an employee wheeling in a giant delivery cart and prepare to make their move. The squad coordinates a joint jump, sneaking inside right behind the clueless employee. Rex stares in awe at the endless, dizzying towering aisles of toys stretching into the distance. Buzz takes charge, telling the group that tracking down the owner's office is their top priority. Back at the penthouse, the restorer painstakingly stitches Woody's arm back onto his body. He gives Woody a fresh coat of paint, polishing him until he looks completely pristine. Woody looks in the mirror and is blown away by how insanely good his restored body looks. Inside the store, Ham hijacks a red toy convertible so the squad can search the aisles faster. Mr. Potato Head demands the wheel, roasting Ham for driving like a total amateur. They roll up on a tour guide Barbie who enthusiastically hops into the driver's seat to show them around. Barbie breaks into her automated tour pitch as she zips the convertible down the massive aisles. Potato Head keeps frantically reminding himself he is taken so he does not fall for Barbie's charm. Barbie casually drops intense trivia about the Hot Wheels section while speeding through the store. Rex suddenly spots an official Zurg strategy guide on a display shelf and flips out with excitement. Rex tumbles out of the speeding car while reaching for the book and has to sprint behind them. Meanwhile, original Buzz wanders into a row packed with hundreds of identical Buzz Lightyear action figures. Out of nowhere, an upgraded utility belt Buzz leaps from a box and tackles our hero to the ground. The delusional new Buzz thinks our Buzz is a rogue traitor breaking Star Command protocol. Our Buzz tries to explain that the wrist laser is literally just a tiny red light bulb. The aggressive new Buzz refuses to listen, threatening to vaporize him on the spot. Our Buzz tries to convince him that they are both just plastic toys, but gets trapped in an empty packaging box. Utility Belt Buzz is out here flexing his upgraded gear while the squad stays completely clueless that they snatched the wrong Ranger. Meanwhile, the toy thief Al is giggling like a cartoon villain because he is about to secure an absolute fortune. He is screaming into his phone with a buyer in Japan, ready to ship Woody across the globe immediately. Back inside the apartment, Woody gets his ripped arm stitched up and starts radiating pure main character energy. Stinky Pete low-key urges Woody to talk to Jessie before he tries to bounce back home. Woody finds Jessie staring out the window, completely locked in her feelings and dreading the dark storage box. Woody drops a reality check, explaining that his heart belongs to Andy no matter what. Jessie instantly cuts him off, already knowing the exact tragic lore Woody is holding on to. She opens up about her old kid Emily, who used to treat her like the center of the universe. Back in the day, Jessie and Emily were absolutely inseparable best friends doing everything together. As the years rolled by, Emily started growing up and her entire aesthetic completely shifted. Jessie got shoved under the bed like trash, forgotten while her kid discovered music and makeup. Then came the ultimate heartbreaking moment when Emily unceremoniously threw her into a donation box. Jessie drops the cold hard truth that kids always grow up and ditch their favorite toys. She asks Woody if he really thinks Andy is gonna bring a cowboy doll to college or on his honeymoon. Stinky Pete jumps in to pitch the permanent retirement plan in a high-end Tokyo museum. Woody gets hit with a heavy dilemma, realizing he could stay pristine and immortal forever instead of getting discarded. Unable to leave his long-lost show squad stranded, Woody decides to stay with the Roundup gang. Meanwhile down in the lobby, the rescue toys are frantically asking for directions like totally lost tourists. Fake Buzz relies on video game logic to navigate the real world like a total NPC. The gang spots Al getting into the elevator with his heavy luggage, confirming he is the target. Fake Buzz instantly classifies the giant chicken man as a top-secret enemy operative. Al boasts on the phone that his Woody's Roundup collection is going to be a legendary exhibit. The museum rep offers infinite bags of cash, meaning Woody's shipment is happening tonight. Fake Buzz orders everyone to jump into the elevator shaft to track down the culprit. Suddenly, the real Emperor Zurg bursts out of his packaging inside the toy store, hunting Buzz down. Unaware of Zurg behind them, Fake Buzz claims they are going to rocket through the shaft. He tries to jump the elevator gap, completely forgetting that plastic space rangers cannot fly. He eats pavement instantly, showing the rest of the gang how delusional he really is. Rex spots the elevator stopping all the way up on the 23rd floor. Slinky suggests floating to the top, but they need a realistic plan before Woody is gone forever. Potato Head wants to pull off a fake food delivery disguise, which is totally wild. Rex remembers his game strategy, pointing out the elevator cable lurking on the left side. Fake Buzz logs his heroic mission while the rest of the squad cringes at his dramatic antics. When Slinky double-checks the route, Fake Buzz responds with massive unearned confidence. Fake Buzz looks up and completely panics, thinking the descending elevator cable is a trap. Potato Head literally screams at him to use his eyes before they get obliterated. The whole team leaps forward and clamps onto the steel cable for dear life. Ham points out the obvious plot hole that they could have just ridden inside the normal elevator car. Upstairs, Al is losing his mind over the absurd cost of express shipping to Tokyo. He screams at the courier service, demanding they pull up in 15 minutes flat. Al packs Woody into custom-fitted foam insulation, treating him like pure gold. Woody drops his hesitation and low-key gets hyped about becoming an international superstar. Jesse gives Woody an epic hype man introduction as they goof around in the living room. Woody acts out his old television adventures, fully embracing his pop culture legacy. He gallops around on Bullseye, loving every second of the celebrity lifestyle. Jesse starts tickling him on the floor, and Woody is dying of laughter with his new squad. Back in the elevator shaft, Ham starts dropping his loose coins while clinging to the cable. Slinky's slinky body is stretched to the absolute limit and he is about to snap. Fake Buzz decides his fake thrusters are active and tells everyone he is letting go. He counts down while the entire squad screams in absolute chaotic terror. They drop onto the top of the elevator roof, landing hard but completely surviving the fall. Ham is so traumatized that he promises to permanently lock Buzz's helmet the moment they get home. Fake Buzz pops open the vent in AL's apartment, finally reaching the destination. He sees Woody giggling on the floor and mistakes the tickle fight for brutal alien interrogation. Buzz tells Rex to use his skull as a battering ram to breach the room. Rex gets thrown straight through the vent screen, screaming his head off. The rescue squad crashes into the room ready to throw hands with the Roundup gang. Ham flexes his best martial arts moves to protect Woody from the enemy. Potato Head slaps on his meanest expression to strike fear into the vintage toys. Woody steps in frantically to prevent an all-out brawl in the middle of the floor. Stinky Pete panics as the gang tries to drag Woody back toward the ventilation shaft. Suddenly, the real Buzz Lightyear climbs out of the vent and demands everyone freeze. Both Buzzes point at each other in the ultimate real-life Spider-Man meme moment. Fake Buzz grabs original Buzz in a chokehold, convinced he's an evil alien clone. Slinky recognizes the real Buzz instantly when he snaps his belt back into place. Real Buzz warns Woody that he is being trafficked to Japan and needs to escape right now. Woody drops a massive bomb on the squad, revealing that he wants to move to Japan. Real Buzz loses his temper and drops the legendary reality check on his cowboy bestie. Woody shows off his ripped arm, convinced Andy will kick him to the curb the moment he sees it. Buzz throws Woody's own exact words back in his face, reminding him what true loyalty means. Woody coldly brushes off the emotional speech, breaking the entire rescue squad's hearts. Real Buzz realizes Woody is cooked, turning to the squad to leave without their commander. Buzz drops one final heavy bar, asking Woody if spending eternity behind glass is really living. As the toys walk away, the TV on the counter starts playing Woody's old theme song. Woody stares at his boot where Andy is written in faint marker, and his soul gets completely jolted. Woody has an instant epiphany and turns around, announcing that he is heading home to Andy. He tells Stinky Pete that even if Andy grows up, being loved by a kid beats standing in glass forever. Woody calls out to Buzz to wait, but Stinky Pete suddenly clicks the television off with a sinister look in his eye. Woody drops an absolute main character speech and convinces Jesse and Bullseye to join Andy's toy family. Bullseye is totally down for the vibe, but the prospector steps up flexing full villain energy. Stinky Pete slams the display box shut and locks everyone inside from the outside. Pete confesses he was the low-key mastermind who framed Jesse by turning on the TV earlier. He unleashes decades of pent-up anger from sitting forgotten on a dime store shelf while other toys got bought. Suddenly Al bursts into the room desperately packing up because his Tokyo flight is leaving. Meanwhile, Buzz Lightyear and the rescue crew are frantically sprinting to the elevator shaft. Out of nowhere, Emperor Zurg pops up on top of the elevator cab ready to vaporize them. Utility Belt Buzz steps up to fight Zurg in an ultra-intense sci-fi showdown. Zurg aims his ion blaster, but Buzz refuses to back down like an absolute legend. In an iconic Star Wars parody moment, Zurg drops the wildest plot twist ever by claiming he is Buzz's dad. Rex panics and accidentally swings his massive dinosaur tail, knocking Zurg right down the shaft. Belt Buzz decides to stay behind to play catch with his villain dad, leaving real Buzz to save Woody. The gang spots Al leaving in a Pizza Planet delivery truck and decides to hijack it. Buzz coordinates the squad, assigning exact driving roles to every toy in the cab. Potato Head and Hem operate the controls while Slinky holds down the gas pedal. 3 little green aliens saved from falling out the window instantly pledge eternal loyalty to Potato Head. Rex completely loses his mind trying to navigate through intense city traffic. They swerve past red lights and execute crazy drift maneuvers all across town. They manage to pull up to the airport terminal right as final boarding calls echo. Al demands extra care for his case, telling the baggage handler it is worth millions. The toys sneak past security by disguising themselves as a barking dog. They dive straight into the terrifying luggage belt system searching for Woody. Slinky gets stretched to his absolute breaking point across moving conveyor belts. Buzz finally spots Al's green suitcase and pops it open to rescue his best friend. Stinky Pete jumps out of the bag and strikes Buzz with his pickaxe. Pete threatens to tear Woody into pieces if he tries to go back to Andy. The villainous prospector violently rips Woody's newly repaired arm right at the seam. Pete tries to forcefully shove Woody back inside the dark display box. He rants that kids only destroy toys and leave them rotting in landfills. Woody tells Pete it is officially time he learned what real playtime actually feels like. The rescue squad blinds the prospector with a massive barrage of camera flashes. Woody picks up Stinky Pete and shoves him into a pink Barbie backpack. A young girl named Amy grabs the bag and promises to give Pete a makeover. Pete gets carried off, doomed to a chaotic life of glitter and face paint. Woody wishes the prospector happy trails as the backpack vanishes down the hall. Jesse is still trapped in the suitcase as it heads onto the airplane tarmac. Woody whistles for Bullseye, jumping onto his back for a wild high-speed chase. They gallop right beneath the roaring jet engines out on the open runway. Buzz boosts Woody straight up into the airplane's open landing gear bay. Woody climbs into the cargo hold and promises Jessie he is taking her home. Jessie worries Andy won't want her, but Woody tells her about Andy's little sister Molly. Suddenly the heavy baggage hatch slams shut and the plane starts moving. Airport handlers skip the last bags, pushing the jet to take off immediately. Woody loses his iconic cowboy hat during the wild turbulence inside the gear door. Buzz grabs the hat on the tarmac and rides Bullseye right alongside the plane's wheels. Woody tells Jessie they have to drop out of the open wheel bay right now. Jessie freaks out, asking if he is crazy because their TV show was cancelled on a cliffhanger. Woody tells her they are going to finish the episode together and jump. Woody uses his pull string to zipline safely down from the plane's wheel bay. They land smoothly on Bullseye's back, pulling off the most heroic stunt ever. Andy comes back home from cowboy camp and is super hyped to see new toys in his room. Andy immediately jumps into an epic playtime scenario with his expanded crew. Andy's mom mentions how glad she is that Woody stayed safe at home. Jessie smiles brightly, knowing she finally has a home and a kid who loves her. Buzz tries to act cool and stumbles over his words trying to flirt with Jessie. Jessie compliments Buzz, sending his Space Ranger heart straight into overdrive. Buster the dog barks because he desperately needs a bathroom break. Woody rides Buster like a horse, proving he is the undisputed leader of the room. Meanwhile, a hilarious commercial shows Al crying on TV because his toy store went bankrupt. Ham and Potato Head watch Al weep, agreeing that crime definitely does not pay. Woody checks his newly stitched arm, totally impressed by Andy's craftsmanship. Buzz tells Woody the goofy stitches low-key make him look super tough. Mrs. Potato Head decides to adopt the 3 green aliens, making Potato Head a dad. Wheezy the penguin shows up fully fixed with a brand new squeaker inside. Wheezy starts crooning a smooth big band jazz rendition for the whole bedroom. The entire toy crew dances along as the classic theme song fills the air. Andy plays with his little sister Molly, showing how much he has grown. Buzz asks Woody if he is still stressing about what happens when Andy grows up. Woody smiles proudly, knowing he will always have Buzz by his side for infinity and beyond. Woody and Buzz prove that true friendship and main character energy will always win. This masterpiece low-key set the gold standard for animated sequels forever. Smash that like button right now if you were totally cooked by this crazy finale. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our breakdowns. Drop your favorite Toy Story character in the comments below and see you in the next one.